Under a month left in this USL Championship regular season, the games are getting more and more important. And tonight, for the first time ever, Phoenix Rising plays host to Indy 11. Tonight's $1 beer night is presented by Arizona Financial with the former Manchester United goalkeeper Gary Bailey. I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks so much for being with us and looking at the Eastern Conference standings after the 1-1 draw between Birmingham and Memphis. Indy still locked into that 6th spot. They can try to get a little bit closer to Memphis, though, with 3 points here tonight. In the Western Conference, of course, Phoenix Rising, they've been in a great run of form, unbeaten in their last 5 with 4 wins. It has propelled them up to that 4th spot. They can jump Orange County into 3rd place tonight. And as we look at tonight's game changers presented by Hope High School Online, changing the game of education, it's the duo of Arteaga and Trejo who've been pouring in the goals.
Well, they certainly have. Trejo with 17, Arteaga 15. And it's not just the goals. Trejo with 5 assists, Arteaga with 6. They've been helping each other. They've been helping the rest of the team. They've scored all sorts of goals, and together they are a fantastic duo.
And speaking of duos, Phoenix has had a lot of good duos. And as you mentioned, Trejo and Arteaga could be among the best.
Well, they're sitting 3rd if you look at all those there. They've got, what, 7 more to go to match Asante and John from 2019. There's enough games left in this season for those two to get 7 goals, maybe even 8, and set a new record.
And speaking of Solomon Asante, you see him on here 3 times. He's back in town to face his former club for the first time.
He is. What a genius this guy is at USL level. Brilliant Ghanaian international. Probably one of the best players we have ever seen at USL level. He scores free kicks, left foot, right foot. He has all the assists as well. This season, maybe not as prolific as normal, but over his entire career, brilliant, brilliant player.
He is in the starting lineup tonight, and we are very much looking forward to it. Well, it's a big one tonight. East versus West, Phoenix versus Indy. We'll have lineups in first kick. Coming up next is the 2023 Phoenix Rising season is brought to you by Equality Health.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health Network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
Huh. How long have you been tracking our car's value with Carvana?
Just like 7 months.
Should we sell it?
We hold.
Hold.
Silver vans are going for more right now. Should we?
Our low mileage is paying off. You think we should?
Hold.
Depreciation's really heating up. You think? We just did 2.5%.
Hold. Now.
I'm on it.
Already sold to Carvana.
Go to Carvana and track your car's value today.
Sanderson Ford gives back. They support local sports.
They support local businesses, restaurants, and music.
Y organizaciones en nuestra comunidad latina.
My favorite event is Operation Santa Claus.
And mine is the Cave Creek Rodeo.
I love participating in the Guardian Games with my son Evan for Special Olympics Arizona.
Your business has allowed Sanderson Charities to give back to all these local charities. We've been paying it forward for 68 years. Thank you.
Join Arizona's only professional soccer club as it goes head-to-head with Orange County at the team's new home. Visit phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606 for ticket information.
Tonight's broadcast of Phoenix Rising FC is presented by Equality Health. Carvana will drive you happy. And by NAU Nationwide. And before the game, of course, a legend coming back here to Phoenix, Arizona for the first time ever. A video tribute, all the trophies that Solomon Asante hoisted as the captain of Phoenix Rising. You see the video tribute, and then President Bobby Dooley out to present him with a framed jersey, some photos as well, and a photo op between the president and Solomon Asante, who is back. Well, he will be in the lineup for Indy, but first, let's take a look at Wangara's starting 11. He makes 3 changes from the weekend win over Detroit.
Yeah, Uzo is in, Gabby Torres is injured, Carlos Harvey starts, Zambrano suspended, and Fede Varela comes in, and our Monarchus takes a rest and goes to the bench. So in that 3-4-3 shape, 3 changes then. The Phoenix side that hammered Detroit 5-0.
Of course, Zambrano suspended 2 games for his 11th yellow card that he picked up. On the other side for Indy 11, a couple of changes coming off that top 3-2 loss at New Mexico.
Yeah, Yunus Bedadi starts, Robbie Damrot goes to the bench, Harrison Robledo in for Sebastian Velasquez, and it's like 4-2-3-1 with, of course, Asante out on the right and the ever-dangerous Guenzardi sitting just behind Pino.
And, of course, they are without Aiden Quinn tonight, another former Phoenix Rising player, and as obviously one of the best in the league. Solomon Asante back here in Phoenix. I asked you the question before, do you think he goes to Mark Lowry and says, I want to play, or I want to start right from the beginning, but he's probably up for this one no matter when he comes on the field.
I think Mark Lowry goes to him and says, you're going back to Phoenix, I want you to play, because it works both ways. The player wants to play, the manager almost certainly wants him to play because he thinks he'll be up for the game. Just a pity that Aiden Quinn is not available to play, because I'd love to see him come back here as well. 2 legendary players, but just Asante on his own will get this crowd, not as big a crowd as we normally get for a Phoenix Rising match, but it'll get the crowd all fired up.
And of course, this Phoenix Rising side coming in some of the best form in the USL Championship. 4 wins in their last 5. And for Phoenix, they have also been fantastic at home. The most home goals scored in the USL with 35. Second best home form in the West as well. This is a tough place to come and play, but this Indy side, they're coming off a pretty good run of form. They were on a 6-game unbeaten run before that loss against New Mexico.
Just to add to the Phoenix Rising numbers, the goalkeeper, Rocco Rios Novas, would put his hand up and say, oh, by the way, 3 clean sheets. And that is something that Wangara has been asking for. He says, if we can keep it tight defensively heading in towards the playoffs, we have every chance of doing something this season.
Last goal they gave up in the 84th minute against Sacramento in that 2-1 win a few weeks back. Our referee, Abdu Ndiaye, he will be the man in the middle tonight, as we are just about set to get this one underway. Always love a classic red versus blue matchup. And Solomon Asante is going to have the first touch of the ball here tonight.
But some mixed emotions for the Phoenix Rising fans as they see him in blue.
Might get a taste of some solo magic tonight as we are underway from Phoenix, Arizona. It's Phoenix Rising and Indy 11. Hard to believe this is the first matchup ever between these 2 clubs. Indy, their 2nd game in a row against the Western Conference, comes here tonight, but they have been a very solid road team, and Solomon Asante trying his magic early on, trying for something spectacular from that right side.
Well, he's used to scoring spectacular goals on this pitch, or not this one, I should say, rather in Phoenix. This is more of a recent pitch, but in this part of the world, and tries it. It just jumps up a little bit on him, and he's not quite able to get a clean strike on the ball.
We mentioned Phoenix, how good they are at home with those 35 goals, 2nd best home form in the Western Conference, but Indy 11 pretty good as well on the road. 7 wins, 5 losses, 2 draws. That's the 2nd best in the East. They have more points on the road than they do at home.
Wow. That's interesting. It's very rare that happens in soccer, that you're better away from home than at home. It just shows that maybe they'd like to catch you on the counter-attack. They'd like to perhaps hold the possession and squeeze you out of the game. Otherwise, 2 very good defenses. Indy 3rd best defense in the East, and Phoenix 4th best defense in the West.
Something's got to give tonight, Gary.
Unless it's a 0-0 draw.
Wow. Very interesting building up to this game. I've had this circle just because you mentioned the possession. Both these teams love to keep the ball. Indy 11 comes into the night with the top average possession in the league at 56%. Phoenix just a few ticks below at 54%. So again, something has to give between these 2 teams, but we asked Juan Guerra about that. He said, we need to pick our moments to go and press. We need to go together. He says he's curious how Indy is going to come in because he said teams have changed completely how they play when they come in to face us.
Yeah, I think his other comment that I felt was important was he said we need another clean sheet. He said we've got 3 games this week, and in the space of 1 week this whole table can change. He said, but if we keep getting clean sheets, then we're pretty much guaranteed to be doing well.
There's some interesting games going on in the Western Conference tonight. Monterey Bay is up 1-0 early on San Diego. Sacramento and New Mexico at 0-0. Here's a venture forward for Indy 11. Bicycle kick, and this is touchdown of play by John Stenberg. A first corner kick coming for Indy 11.
Yeah, keep an eye on Seba Guenzardi. He is always a trouble. This is Robledo on the ball, but look, Guenzardi there doesn't quite bring it under control, but he tries to get Stefano Pino into the game. And we are blessed today to have some really good natural strikers. Guenzardi's one of this, Danny Trejo and Artiaga would be 2 more.
This is Cam Lindley, who will stand over it. One of the best in terms of chance creation in the USL Championship, an assist last time out against New Mexico as well. Lindley delivers, is right on top of the goalkeeper. Comes out to Robledo. It'll be chased down by Jack Blake, who he knows a thing or two about scoring against Phoenix Rising. He scored 4 times in his career against Rising, whether it be with San Diego or Real Monarchs. There's some pressure from Indy 11. Uzo. Indy do win this back in a good area. Robledo. And D's pay. Indy will circle it around. Phoenix, even though they will have 1 more game played, a chance to jump Orange County tonight in the 3rd spot. Of course, those 2 teams will face off next weekend here in Phoenix. It's Phoenix who travels to El Paso this weekend before that big showdown against their Southern California rival.
I think something about Phoenix that's impressed me recently with this run of 4 wins and a draw is their patience. Their systems are beginning to take place. I'm guessing that Juan Guerra's messages are now getting through, because this is a completely rebuilt side. I don't think, I'm having a look at the lineup to see who was at the club last season, and I'm not sure I can find any, or maybe you can, in which case it's a totally new side, and it's taken a while for them to gel. But I think that this run recently, 4 wins and a draw, just showing you they're coming together, they're appreciating each other's strengths, they're learning how to play to the system that Juan Guerra wants. And I think we're seeing a team that has a really good chance of going a long way in this competition, if not actually winning it. That's how good Phoenix Rising are at the moment.
Yeah, you're right. Nobody was on the team a year ago that gets the start here tonight. And go back to the stat that they only returned about 14% of their goal scoring. And now 2 of those players are not with the team anymore, with Jai and Lambert having departed. The only player that contributed to scoring last year that is still on the team is Gabby Torres, and he is injured, so he's out tonight as well. So completely revamped squad, as we've talked a lot about this year, and Juan Guerra has just been waiting for this to kind of come together, and battling through injuries and fixture congestion and all. They have put themselves in a really solid spot. Although, as Juan Guerra says, we don't know where our peak is going to be. I asked him, have you felt like you peaked yet? He says, I don't know.
If you have a look at the teams that are at the top, be it Pittsburgh or in the West Sac Republic, in San Antonio, these are all teams who've kept the majority of their squad. Lou City as well. These teams must keep, I would guess, 70% of their squad. Well, Danny Trejo is one of those that's come in as well. So if these are all new players, it's clearly 0% of the squad that has stayed. I guess if you look at the entire squad, you've got Donnell King, Gabby Torres. That's about all I can think of. So it must be probably the lowest percentage, and I'm guessing now, out of the entire USL who've kept their players would be Phoenix Rising.
Anguiano there. But yeah, you're right about that, and especially with the players who have left, with Jai and Lambert. There is headmaster of it all, Juan Guerra, right next to Danny Stone.
By the way, Juan Guerra used to play for Indy 11.
He
was assistant coach there for 2 years, so he's got history. And Artiaga played, so probably quite a bit of emotion going on in the bench as far as the head coach is concerned.
A couple of threads on both sides of the ball here tonight. Juan Guerra, 25 appearances, 1 goal with Indy 11. In his last pro season, that was in 2018, before he jumped into the coaching ranks in 2019 and 2020 with Indy 11. And then, of course, he moved over to Phoenix Rising in 2021 under Rick Shantz. And as they say, the rest is history. Yep. He's the head man now.
Then it was Oakland Roots, then back to Phoenix Rising. It's a lot to achieve in a very short time, going from being a player to a coach. Are we looking at a rising star, someone who can go higher up, MLS, and maybe even further than that?
Is the pun intended?
Well, it hasn't been used in Phoenix by the newspaper reporters, has it?
Nobody's ever used that before. Here's Budani. Lindley, strong midfield duo, Blake and Lindley for this Indy 11 side. Phoenix trying to come forward. This will run all the way through for Tim Trilk, who gets the start in goal. Of course, Yannick Odell out injured tonight. Oh, it's Trilk who gets yet another start for this Indy 11 side. Do win this back, but they give it right away. Moved off to the right, and there's Asante. This will trickle out of play as we take a look at our availability report. It is brought to you by Spooner. Of course, Niall Dunn, Gabby Torres, Renzo Zambrano remain out. Yannick Odell, Callum Chapman-Page, and Aiden Quinn out for Indy 11. And definitely a bummer that Aiden Quinn not able to participate here tonight against his former club. Zadi brought down, and here's Trejo.
By the way, you mentioned Guenzardi. His goal against New Mexico in the last match, absolutely brilliant. It was as he was falling, he sort of hooked the ball over his shoulder into the back of the net. So I think he's one of the most natural strikers in the USL, Sebastian Guenzardi. He won a penalty as well, an opportunity for them to go 2-0 up against New Mexico, had that saved, and then unfortunately for him, they went on to lose by 3-2. Chalk giving away a penalty right towards the end that basically finished off the match for Indy 11, their first loss in 7 games.
Trejo. Here's Fuenmayor. And now Hernandez. Harvey trying to cut this upfield. Harvey coming together. Referee says play on, and he won't let it play on after that. Hernandez clips Guenzardi. Of course, a look at Mark Lowry, who knows all too well about playing against this Phoenix Rising side. You go back to the 2020 Western Conference Final, that 1-1 draw that Phoenix ended up winning in penalties, and Brian Rebellon, he actually scored the equalizing goal in the 59th minute in that game. And Lowry was the head man for El Paso Locomotive. Now Lowry, a couple of years under his belt here with Indy 11, and talk about what Juan Guerra's gone through and trying to revamp his squad. Same thing has happened at Indy 11 as this is moved out wide, but the flag is up for offside.
Yeah, marginal on Arteaga there. Just needed to time his run a little bit better, but he's full of confidence. Thumbs up. That's the idea, he says. We get the ball, just slip it through to me. It was to be fair, it was a good step up by Adrian Despay, even though he slipped in the end, and he's probably relieved Arteaga was offside.
Arteaga, a couple years with Indy, 53 appearances, 15 goals.
Chalk gave away that penalty I mentioned in that match against New Mexico last time out. Probably didn't need to come for that ball far corner of his box, and turned out to be a decisive moment. It was 3-1, and then they managed to get a goal back from Jesus Vasquez. So they missed one penalty, they gave away one, probably turned the match in favor of New Mexico.
Gotti plays it in field, touched along, Guenzati and Robledo. This Indy side, you can see it very well drilled, and something's not on. Let's recycle, let's move it around again. They love to keep the ball.
In the same sense, look at Phoenix Rising in that low block. As soon as they can't get the ball, they'll press you to get it, and once they can't, they drop nice and deep, denying space everywhere, well organized. And against Detroit last match out, they really struggled to break through until just before half-time.
Quick touches there on the far side. Looking for space. Referee waves this away. Play on, and here comes Hernandez. Eddie Manjoma. Fede Varela. Phoenix will take some time on the ball.
Just to finish that point, they were pressurizing in the first half against Detroit. They couldn't break through, and they forced an error just before half-time, and they pounced on the error, got the opening goal, and went on to absolutely hammer Detroit 5-0. You get the same sense. They're going to be patient. They're going to look to try and find a way to break this Indy 11 defense. They won't take too many risks. They're keeping it very well organized the way Juan Guerra would like it to be.
Robledo. Of course, those 5 goals came off the heels of that 0-0 draw against Tulsa, in which Juan Guerra says he was pleased with the defensive performance. It's a big challenge is put in there by Uzo. That sends Robledo to the ground. Chat with the referee here. A yellow card will be shown, a late yellow card at that. I think you can understand why.
It's almost as if the referee was giving himself a moment to think as he was discussing it, weighing up just whether it was a bad one, but it's from behind. Absolutely no question that's a yellow card. You cannot tackle players from behind, especially if you go to ground. And I wonder why you have to do that. I know it's enthusiasm from Uzo, but the player's got his back to play. He's probably going to move away from your goal, so let him have the ball. Now, as always, when you get a yellow early in the game, now you're treading on eggshells, trying to avoid the second yellow and being expelled from the game.
Here's Lindley looking for that ball over the top, and too much on it. Flag was up for offside anyway. Well, Phoenix Children's is expanding across the valley so we can all grow healthier together. Learn more at phoenixchildrens.org. It's interesting, we were talking with Juan Guerra this week about Indy and about the possession that they like to keep, and he said, well, we played teams that like to keep the ball, the likes of El Paso, the likes of Memphis earlier in the year as well at the beginning of July, and I then said, well, you won those games by a combined 11-0. You're going to score a few goals here tonight. He said, I'll sign up for 1-0. That works for me.
Yep. Absolutely, 3 points in the bag is what both sides are looking for. Both got to fight to try and get into that top 4 in their respective leagues and get that home playoff match.
It'd be a little bit tougher for Indy than for Phoenix. Indy currently 4 points off of Louisville in 5th, and Memphis also on 46 points.
If they win here today, does that mean they're only 2 points behind? Because in the live table, they've got the 1 point already.
Yes.
So 2 points behind with, you know, what is it, 5 matches left to go. Anything's possible for Indy if they get a result here today.
Sante all the way in the corner. Cuts this one back. Chance to play the square ball for Robledo. This just stays in play. Budati cuts it back on Trejo. Budati, the service headed up and over the bar by Uzo. Another corner kick coming for Indy 11.
You can see Uzo was very quick to look over his shoulder there. He knew that ball was sort of heading towards his own goal. He turned around quickly to make sure that he hadn't ended up mistakenly chipping his own goalkeeper with his head. So I was relieved to see it fly over the top of the crossbar as Wangero is just busy looking at his stats and weighing up various information being passed by his coaching staff.
It's Cam Lindley who will come over and take this corner kick yet again, second of the match. Driven ball in. It's attacked there by Rebellon. He had a free header on that one, but he puts it into the bleachers.
It's actually a good chance for Rebellon. He has a fantastic run, loses his marker. Think of a Danny Trejo, but Trejo just does enough. He just bends his body here, just sort of blocks him. He comes to a grinding hold, Trejo, and it's just enough to put the big man off, Brian Rebellon. But it's still a great chance, at least to have hit target.
I was watching Champions League today, and the analyst said, well, if you can't get to the ball, get in between the ball and the player. Just make yourself a nuisance, and that's exactly what Trejo did.
Yeah, he's not the same size, but he just caused enough of a problem for Rebellon.
Asante. It was a tough start to this season for Solomon Asante, but has really come on strong as of late. Now a team-high 6 assists. And he was stuck below that 100 goals in his combined assists. But he has now finally gotten over that century mark of goals and assists. That's combined, not each. The 6th player to reach that century mark for goals and assists. He finally was able to get over that with his 6 assists here this season.
Did he have 3 in 1 match against Birmingham this year?
It's the 2nd time in his career he's done that.
Wow, that's some achievement in 1 game. And is he not the first player to reach 50 goals or above 50 goals and 50 assists? I mean, that's still an achievement. It's one thing combining them, but to get more than 50 in both goals and assists, which now Aidan Quinn has done as well. For both those players, it's a phenomenal achievement.
Play that through the lines, and again it's turned over. Indy might be looking to go quick here. Robledo through the middle. Never got to him. This will roll all the way out of play. Asante still trying to get it going here tonight. 1 effort on goal in the opening 30 seconds. Here's Arteaga looping towards goal and just wide. We were just waiting for that net to ripple, and Tim Trilk was hoping that was bouncing wide, which it did.
That was very close, though. The goalkeeper really was struggling. Looked initially like he wasn't on target, Arteaga. He has a whiff of it, you think, oh, it's going wide. And you think, hang on a second, that's just dropping nearly under the crossbar. Watch Chalk here as he goes back. He's thinking, oh, I'm in trouble, I'm in trouble. And he's running towards that post, and in the end, just crashes in the post to make sure there's not a gap for that ball to go in. But so close for Arteaga.
Pino trying to hold play up. He does for Guenzati, and that was a foul. This portion of the match is brought to you by Modelo, a reward for those with a fighting spirit. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. At the midway point of this first half, nothing to split these two sides as of yet. 4 combined shots, 3 of them have gone Indy 11's direction.
It's been a testing out sort of first quarter of the game, hasn't it? No side taking too many risks. Certainly Phoenix Rising keeping it nice and tight defensively, not throwing too many bodies forward. Again, almost the way you would play a game in the playoffs, where you don't want to fall behind. And maybe that's what Wangira is beginning to get his team, and perhaps Mark Lowry's side, trying to get them into that playoff mode. Not too many games left before the playoffs, so give nothing away. If you have to win it 1-0, so be it. That's generally the attitude that coaches want from their players.
Harvey nearly getting himself in trouble there. It'll be a throw-in going Indy's way as Robledo is still down.
I don't know how much contact there was there between Carlos, Harvey and Robledo. Let's have a look here. We get a chance to get a closer view. Harvey, he does come in later. To me, that's a foul. Let's have a look at it again. If you don't get the ball and you get the play, yep, that to me is, not only is it a foul, it's bordering on a yellow card. And I think that's what Robledo is saying.
Well, Indy 11 got none of those things. It's just a throw-in.
Again, we get the advantage of replay. So constantly say this about referees. It is so difficult to call that in real time and know just whether there's contact made or not. Even sometimes on replays, we're not sure if it is. So no criticism there of Abdu Ndai whatsoever.
Trejo, a tough spot. Lindley through the lines. This rolls all the way through for Rios Novo. Going back to that conversation about these two coaches getting their teams ready for the playoffs. Seems like both of these teams, barring some pretty epic collapses, we will be seeing them in the playoffs. Phoenix have put themselves in a great position with their run of form as of late, and with Indy 11, they currently sit in 6th spot. If they can get a result here tonight, that'll put them on 42 points. Right now, the playoff line is at 36, with Detroit City in 9th spot on 34. And only 4 matches left for those sitting on 30 games played. The crazier things have happened in this league, being as competitive as it is.
I think it would be crazy if either of these teams don't make the playoffs. I think what's more to the point, and you're right, anything can happen. The question is, will they get a home playoff? Now, Phoenix are looking fairly solid, but a bad run, and they could easily drop to 5th or 6th. And Indy, as you quite rightly say, have some work to do to catch up, which, again, is very possible for them to do. But I think all managers, first thing they want is to get a home game in a playoff for the fans as a big thank you, of course, but also gives you a great chance of getting a victory and going through to the next round.
Right now, they're getting a result that is helping them, Phoenix, and that Monterey Bay is beating San Diego by 2-1. As Budati cuts this in. Now he cuts it back. Looking for options. Lindley. Here's Blake. Guenzati. There's Rebellon trying to return it for Guenzati. Asante floating this into the middle. Pino on the chase. A foul that sends Uzo to the turf, and a free kick Phoenix's way.
Uzo doing well to get his body between the ball and Pinho. Referee just giving Pinho a warning. Doing a good job there, Abdu and Dai. Just telling the players what they can and can't get away with. You can see Uzo just gets his body in front in time, and that just wins him the free kick. Hands going everywhere from both players. It's such a tight match so far. There's just nothing between either side. They really haven't created a chance, either team. Maybe Arteaga's attempted chip of Tim Trilk, but that went wide.
That's the only shot for Phoenix. Neither team has a shot on target. Indy, though, with a couple of corner kicks.
Rios Novo, 3 back-to-back clean sheets for the goalkeeper in black, so he's having a really good run at the moment.
Came into tonight, 276-minute shutout streak. Longest of the season thus far. One Mayor. Back in field, Harvey. Traore. Hernandez. Trejo for Harvey. It's Uzo. Good build up there from Phoenix, and it results in their first shot on target tonight.
That's bravery from Uzo there. He was about to get clattered by the centre-backs, and he still gets the shot in. Lovely little build-up play. Trejo, this is laid off there by Carlos Harvey. And then as 2 players slide in, Uzo, he keeps going, he gets the shot, probably gets tackled as he shoots, which is why he can't get too much power on the ball, and it goes through to Tim Trilk. But give Uzo credit for going through with a shot just when he's about to get crunched from both sides.
Pre-game with Raising Cane's, proud supporter of Phoenix Rising. Skip the line and order on an easy mobile app for your order of premium fresh hand-breaded chicken fingers, special sauce. And don't forget to add our fresh hand-squeezed lemonade at order.raisingcanes.com. Here's Hernandez. And that should be a yellow card, and it is. Stefano Pinho.
Quite sure what Pinho's doing there. I mean, that's just a nasty kick out. No need to just let Hernandez go. He's not causing any trouble. And that's just a premeditated kick that's going to get you a yellow card every day of the week. And when you're a big striker and you rely on being physical, why put yourself on a yellow card for no real reason? Even if you are frustrated, save it, build it up, let it work for you, not get you a yellow. And now, again, if he lunges in or does anything with an elbow, that'll be a second yellow, and off the park he goes.
Sante had that red. Indy's not able to keep it.
By the way, I'm looking at Eddie Monjomo on the far left of the pitch. They've hardly passed the ball to him. He's had his hands, here they are, on the right-hand side, time and time again. He has his hands up, Eddie Monjomo, and the ball, I think he's got to him once the entire first half. Here they go, back to the right-hand side.
Comes into the middle for Arteaga. Bounces into the air. There's Monjomo. Comes in again and flicked on, but Trejo couldn't get there. Flag up for offside anyway.
This is a bit more creative from Phoenix Rising, just putting a little bit more pressure on the Indy 11 defense. Let's have a look at it again. Comes to Monjomo, knocks it in. And there Trejo's just in an offside position as Varela touches it. Not that it made any difference because the goalkeeper got the cross anyway. It's a good chance for Indy, sorry, to just slow the game down and take the pace out of the game, which is what you try and do when you're the away team.
To your point about Phoenix attacking down the right, 52% of all attacks have come down that right side so far. They're definitely favoring that left side of Indy. I wonder if that's something that Juan Guerra may have picked up in analyzing this team. Missed pass there by Phoenix. You don't see that a whole lot playing out of the back. Throw in coming for Indy in a good spot. Touched along. Here's Boudadi. Still Boudadi, lays it off, Robledo. Touched in field, taken on the first time. Good effort by Boudadi. First save of the night for Rocco Rios Novo.
That's a decent snapshot. Never going to cause the goalkeeper too many problems, but nice play from Indy 11. As it comes to Boudadi, he has a go straight at the goalkeeper without too much power, but again, nice play around the fringes from Indy 11, and a reminder of how good they are under pressure, close passing. Again, you just wonder if an Aidan Quinn in there could have just thread something through. They're missing him. I guess any team would miss a player of Aidan Quinn's quality.
A guy who can score from midfield. We've seen that before this year.
It's also his vision and his passing, and when he gets going, and this man on the ball here, Asante, when those two start passing the ball and Guenzadi's on the receiving end, then teams can get themselves into trouble. So far, we haven't seen too much from Guenzadi and Solo Asante as yet.
Here's Uzo. Boudadi. And Guenzadi goes to ground to keep it alive, and does for Pino.
Again, look at Phoenix dropping into that low block. Once they can't get possession back, they just come right into that final third of the pitch, which is a more and more common tactic these days for teams, because it denies you space. There's so many defenders in a very small area.
Boudadi. Guenzadi. There's Asante. Deft first touch. Asante put that on target. I'm not sure how. You asked that question with him quite a lot.
Does make something out of nothing here. Just drops his shoulder. It's from an angle. It's difficult. I think it takes Rios Novo by surprise, because he covers it easily enough, but he doesn't hold on to the ball.
You know, Asante would like nothing more than to score a goal, grab an assist here tonight against his former club.
Especially if he can walk away with 3 points as well. That's probably why it's a very quiet crowd. They know what he can produce, and they're waiting for him to pop up and cause the Phoenix defense some problems.
Here's Guenzadi. Guenzadi hits the woodwork, and that stays in play. That's another man who can make things happen for Indy 11. And Indy feels like they're getting a bit closer now. Asante keeps that alive. Rebellon chases it down.
That was a tight angle from Guenzadi. I didn't think there was enough for him to squeeze the ball in there, but he came ever so close to getting the first goal of the game.
Robledo slowed down. Here's Boudadi. Cross comes in, Pino. This runs all the way through, and there's Rios Novo.
Got this Guenzardi shot hopefully coming up here, but it's a very difficult angle out wide. But wow, hits the crossbar. That is some strike. Head down the whole time, so he knows exactly where the goal is. If that's a little bit lower, that's in the back of the net, because Rios Novo was nowhere near.
Rising fans, from now until October 6th, place a $100 deposit for your 2024 season tickets and receive a complimentary ticket to one of Rising's 3 remaining regular season home matches. Visit phxrisingfc.com for more information. This is taken away. Blake stood up there by Hernandez. 2 number 8s come together. And then Lindley gets a foot to it to keep it for Indy. Budati was fouled.
A little bit scrappy in the middle there. Good tackling, and just shows you both these teams desperate to get the points, fighting for every inch of turf that they can. If we're just throwing some warnings around to the players. Who's having to be careful because he's on a yellow. There, possibly that's what it was. Fem Mayor into Budati.
All the way back to Trilk. He's had a pretty quiet night, all things considered. Here's Trejo. Phoenix trying to get something going from an attacking sense. Fuenmayor. Harvey turning forward, and now Varela. Manjoma. Player went down to the top of the area. Play continues on for only a moment. This was well away from the ball. I think the referee was getting help from either his 4th official or his AR.
Looks like Arteaga's the player they're pointing at, but they have to be sure. What color is it? It's going to be yellow. They have to be sure that it was nothing involving elbows or anything else. The referee's saying to Arteaga that did something to bring down Dispay. I'd like to see it again. It's so hard when you're an official and you've done your referee's badge, and so have I. We've tried to keep an eye on everything. Have a look in the middle there, Arteaga and Dispay. He gives him a little tug on his shirt, so I'm not sure what all the rolling around is. Is a tug on the shirt worthy of a yellow? This is where players can get other players unfairly into trouble, if that's all it was. That's all I could see was a tug on the shirt. Arteaga just laughing about it, and Dispay eventually getting up off the ground.
Arteaga, all he can do is laugh about it now.
That's going to cause a little bit of frustration for Arteaga going into the rest of the game, whether he feels that he's been unfairly done there by Dispay.
When wellness for mind and body is the goal, Day One Sparkling Water and CBD is a win-win with 20 milligrams of CBD, real fruit juice, zero sugar, and refreshing effervescence. Score yours today at the concession stand. Your better tomorrow starts today with Day One. Here comes Phoenix. Varela for Arteaga, and he'll send him all the way into the corner as he couldn't collect the pass. And out of play for a throw-in.
It's a good little half chance here for Phoenix Rising. Varela on the ball, running at the box. Arteaga, one of the options. Trejo, the other. Just couldn't quite bring it under control, Arteaga. And that's what he's been looking for. He's been asking the players around him to try and put him through. And that one didn't quite work out. It was right about this time in the last match against Detroit at home that they forced the error from the Detroit defense and got their opening goal. They do have a good record against Eastern sides as well, Phoenix Rising. 4 wins and a draw from 5 matches against Eastern teams. So, but Indy, so far, turning out to be a little bit of harder nut to crack.
It's a foul on Harvey. Free kick going Phoenix's way. Hernandez. There's Fuenmayor. Trejo. Trejo, Fuenmayor cut down. That blocked. The English on it will keep it in play. Harvey heads this forward. And out of play. Last few seconds of this first half. See how much stoppage time we get. As we've been saying, not a whole lot to split these two sides. 5 shots for Indy, a couple of them on target. 2 shots for Phoenix, 1 on target. And of course, Gonzati hitting the woodwork as well.
Yeah, you have to say that's the best chance of the first half, and certainly credit to Indy for coming to a tough place to play and being on the front foot for a fair portion of the match. Having that one smack against the crossbar. Conversely, I don't think Phoenix have really tested Tim Chalk at all. Nothing really to give the goalkeeper any problems, but long way to go in this match. As I said, it's a very patient Phoenix Rising. They know they're in good form. I don't think they're forcing this match necessarily. They're just keeping it tight at the back. But I think second half at home, they're going to have to start taking a few more risks as they go for the 3 points.
It's always interesting how these East versus West matchups play out, because it's obviously important for your respective standings, but at this point in the season, it's not a 6-pointer. You're not going up against a team right around you in the standings. Not that these games aren't important. You still want to go out and get the 3 points, but you're not playing another team that you would almost take away 3 points, if you will. As we get into 2 minutes of added time. Uzo went to ground, he couldn't keep it. Here's Budati for Blake and Asante. Asante rolling this in. Rios Novo's there to scoop it up. Harvey. Just a battering ram going through the middle.
He's a strong physical player, Carlos Harvey, and he can cause problems with his late runs into the box. He's had a couple of goals this season, 4 in fact in total, 3 assists, so good start to the season. Hasn't been maybe quite as effective in recent games, and but on the right day he can be a very, very good player.
Varela on the turn. It's Manjoma, cuts it back. Varela blocked. Somehow Budati was able to get that out with a back heel. Stenberg all the way back to Rios Novo. Trejo trying to turn the corner, and that was shut down. Phoenix, the pressure paying off. Uzo Lays it off once more. Arteaga, was he fouled? It's out of play and it's a goal kick.
Arteaga saying that he was tripped there by Dispay as he was setting up for the shot. And there was some contact, but got a little bit of spell of pressure from Phoenix Rising around the edge of the box here, winning the ball. Trejo has a go, he rushes into the box. He gets tackled, comes out, Arteaga wins it. Really fighting hard. Uzo really puts his body on the line there. Now have a look as it comes to Arteaga there. Is there call? Well, I think he's tripped. Edge of the box. That could be, or should be, a free kick. Yeah, he takes it away. That tackle misses the ball and brings down Arteaga. That's what he was claiming.
Well, the final whistle has sounded as Cam Lindley is nursing a bit of a knock. We'll see if that affects him in the second 45 minutes. But we have hit halftime here from Phoenix, and there is nothing to split these two sides after the first half. Of course, Solomon Asante has come back, and he's trying to make things happen. So is Phoenix Rising, but we go into the break. It's a stalemate so far in Phoenix. Phoenix Rising 0, Indy 11-0. Stay with us for halftime.
Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? How fast do you want to get there? At Gateway Community College, you can achieve a career that takes you places in less time and for less money. Opportunity is not just for the select few. Living better is for everyone. Let us help you discover your future.
Hey, Rising fans, spring is in the air and Circle K has what you thirst for. Stay cool with our famous Polar Pop Cups that stay cold longer. Fill your cup with your favorite flavor or mix it up to create your own. Or try our freshly ground iced coffee starting at just $1.89. While you're here, mix and match any 2 roller grill items, just 2 for $4. Check out these hot deals and cool down at Circle K, America's thirst stop and proud sponsor of Phoenix Rising.
Sanderson Ford gives back. They support local sports.
They support local businesses, restaurants, and music.
Y organizaciones en nuestra comunidad latina.
My favorite event is Operation Santa Claus. And mine is the Cave Creek Rodeo.
I love participating in the Guardian Games with my son Evan for Special Olympics Arizona.
Your business has allowed Sanderson Charities to give back to all these local charities. We've been paying it forward for 68 years. Thank you.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health Network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
Halftime here, and of course, this was the scene pre-game. Bobby Dooley, the president here, Phoenix Rising, and Solomon Asante celebrating Solomon Asante and his return here to Phoenix, where he became a club legend, spending 4 years with the club, getting the framed jersey and all the pictures. They had a lot of good memories, and as we look at some of his highlights, boy, he was one of the best to ever do it in a Phoenix Rising shirt. Helps when you're alongside the likes of Didier Drogba.
Aidan Quinn, all the other good players that he played with. On his own, he was still a wonderful striker of a ball. Look at these free kicks. Everyone very Messi-like, getting it down quickly, bending it from left to right, either side of the goal. Beautiful striker of the ball, and look at this pass he's going to play here. Just bends it nicely right into the path of the player to finish off the goal. And here off his heel by mistake, but how quick is he to turn and strike that right into the far corner. Absolutely fabulous player.
And we look at some of his accolades as well. I mean, just go down the list. This is just a few of them. We could have a couple of these full screens.
Yeah, Golden Boot in 2019 with 22 goals, and first player to get 50 goals and 50 assists, etc., etc. But he'd done it season after season. It was, what, 4 seasons of great return at Phoenix Rising.
The only player ever with back-to-back MVPs in the USL Championship. But here tonight, He's in the starting lineup. He's trying to make things happen for Indy 11, but it's a stalemate through 45 minutes here from Phoenix.
Mississippi River. Mooses. Mooses.
Is it meese? That's moose. Yeah.
Moose?
Yeah.
Like one moose, two moose?
Yeah.
Wow.
Red.
Green.
Blue. Red, blue, and I don't know what.
Red, blue, yellow.
Ah, I got it.
What's a dozen? Is that 12?
96.
Jeez, are you kidding me?
Mercury. Thomas Edison.
Luckily I have Nile next to me. Oh!
Da Vinci.
You went to school recently, huh?
Halftime here from Phoenix, Arizona, 38th Street in Washington. No score at the half between Phoenix Rising and Indy 11. Halftime rolls on with the second half coming up.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Only 2 home games left. Don't miss the chance to see your Phoenix Rising go head-to-head with Orange County. as they battle to secure a postseason appearance. Right here in Central Phoenix off 38th Street in Washington. Saturday, September 30th at 7:30. Tickets to the match start at $25, and the two-time Western Conference champions are just 5 stops on the Valley Metro to Phoenix and Tempe. Visit phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606 for more information.
Halftime here from Phoenix, Arizona. Nothing to split Phoenix and Indy after 45 minutes. But as we get to the end of this regular season, plenty of news and notes to talk about across the league. And of course, the Golden Boot race is at the front of all of our minds, especially with some of the players on display here tonight.
Well, Danny Trejo's got a chance, hasn't he, with Pittsburgh not playing? That he can jump ahead in this race, but I think his mind is just on getting 3 points. And then Paul the Wall is the goalkeeper to help Oakland Roots. Mind you, they need his help at the moment. They're really struggling in the last few weeks.
They are struggling, and of course, 24 days until the end of the season, and then all builds to the championship final set for November 12th on ESPN2. Decent slate of games here tonight. I know you were on the call for that Miami-Louisville Classic.
Oh, brilliant. 3 times Miami were behind, 3 times they came back, and then they got a winner with a penalty towards the end. There's a couple of golazos there that you've got to go and have a look at. Some great strikes coming from Miami FC.
And, of course, Monterey Bay and San Diego still 2-1 there. Coming up Saturday, some big games once again. I got my eyes in San Antonio, Orange County.
Yeah, you can, I mean, there's Colorado Springs Sac Republic's an interesting one. Tampa Bay hosting Memphis, who are now chasing Louisville for that 4th spot in the East. Orange County at San Antonio. Yeah, I mean, you pick any one of those. They're all excellent matches with everything to play for at this stage of the season.
And plenty of playoff implications in just about every game these days. It is halftime here. There's plenty of playoff implications here tonight, but who wants to go out and grab those 3 points? It's Phoenix Rising 0, Indy 11-0 with the second half next.
Equality Health is giving doctors more time to be doctors, so they can give you the care you deserve. Ask if your doctor is part of the Equality Health Network today. Equality Health. Caring is back.
Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? How fast do you want to get there? At Gateway Community College, you can achieve a career that takes you places in less time and for less money. Opportunity is not just for the select few. Living better is for everyone. Let us help you discover your future.
Tonight's broadcast of Phoenix Rising FC is presented by Equality Health. Carvana will drive you happy. And by NAU Nationwide. Highlights from the first half, Phoenix and Indy, 22nd minute, and we almost went up top with a lob here, but Arteaga just inches wide.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a hit and hope, but it actually ends up just going wide of the post, and Tim Trilk Have a look at his face, and he goes, oopsie, I'm in trouble here, I need to run, and he runs into the post just to make sure it doesn't sneak in.
36th minute, this may have been the closest we got to a goal tonight, and Sebastian Guenzati.
Yeah, he's such a good player. It's a tightish angle, but he thumps it against the crossbar. And there's no way Rios Novo is getting this. Have a look at the goalkeeper. He just turns and has a look. If that's a couple of inches lower, that's in the back of the net.
A really nice strike there from Guenzati. Well, the players are back out on the field, and we are set to go for the second 45 minutes with Gary Bailey. I'm Josh Eastern. Appreciate you staying up late with us if you're watching this one in Indy. See if Indy 11 can head home with 3 points, or whether it'll be Phoenix Rising to keep the points here at home, where they head out on the road to face El Paso this weekend. Of course, next game up for Indy 11. They're all big at this time of the year. Coming up next is a home match against RGV. Next 2 matches at home for Indy. And of course, they'll finish on the road, Tulsa and San Antonio. So, a few big games for Indy 11. They'll have a say on who's going to make it in that Eastern Conference. Detroit City and FC Tulsa there at the bottom of the standings. Of course, Phoenix Rising, what they have coming up. Their final 4, 2 on the road, 2 at home. Those 2 home games going to be against 2 of their bitter rivals.
Yep, Orange County is always a massive one for Phoenix Rising. New Mexico United as well. All these games are difficult at this stage of the season because in some ways you almost want to play the teams at the top because they've already qualified. It's the teams around 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th who are desperate and hard to play against. So nothing is easy for any side right now.
There's the whistle and away we go. 45 more minutes tonight from Phoenix. Just 4 points separate these 2 sides in their respective conferences. There's been nothing to split these 2 sides through 45 minutes. First ever match between these 2 proud clubs. Rios Novo, distribution right on the mark. That ball forward, Dees Pay there to get it away as far as Jack Blake. Both back lines have been very strong here tonight, but a big reason for Phoenix being so strong at the back is because of what John Stenberg has been able to do since coming back from his loan spell away from the club. This is his 9th appearance for Phoenix. They've only allowed 0.57 goals on average since he's entered the lineup. Before that, the average goals conceded a game was at 1.36. That's almost a whole goal per game less they are conceding. It's a big reason why they haven't given up a goal in over 3 matches.
And that's so important from Juan Guerra's point of view. He absolutely believes that keeping it tight at the back is what's going to help them progress in the playoffs. I just wonder here in the second half at home whether you might start to see Phoenix Rising just pushing forward a little bit more, trying to push a player up. 1 or 2 that were slightly deeper first half, like Jose Hernandez, pushed them a little bit higher up in the field. Carlos Harvey perhaps, get him start to make some runs. Maybe just push up from here in Mo Traore, because they are the home side and they're in such good form at the moment. They have to believe they can get the 3 points and want it, and it's that very careful balance between being tight at the back but being confident enough to push forward and create opportunities in the opponent's box.
The first thing Juan Guerra said to us this week was very happy about another clean sheet. He's very proud about that defensive performance. He's put 5 on the scoreboard. I think he feels like the attack is there, and now defense needs to hold up their end of the bargain. In the past few games, they are. Here's Trejo. Early ball in, cleared away.
Such a good ball in from Trejo, nice and quick. He was under all sorts of pressure at the touchline and right into the danger area.
Trejo splits two. Trejo just rolls out of play, and it is the first corner kick of the game for Phoenix Rising. It's brought to you by Carvana, proud sponsor of Phoenix Rising. Carvana will drive you happy.
Already they're on the front foot much more than they were in that first half. And this man here, look at that. That's a very difficult ball to hit in as you get in towards the touchline. Such quality from Trejo in the last minute.
This will be an in-swinger from Fede Varela. To the back post. Jostling in there. Uzo will keep it alive. Hernandez. In-swinger. Trill does just enough. Has to scoop it out of there, but he did his job.
He's very lucky, Trilko. I know it's a difficult ball to come for one bouncing in front of you, but it comes off his chest, and as that had gone to Phoenix Rising play, that's in the back of the net. So I think they dodged one there, Indy 11.
Uzo keeps his feet, plays the square ball for Fuenmayor. Hernandez, Harvey, now Stenberg and Traore. Trejo trying to turn the corner.
Good play from Rebion there. He had to fight his way past three different Phoenix Rising players, Rebion, to come out of defense.
Now it's Jack Blake. The return for Blake from Asante. Blake tries to get back to his feet. Probably an appeal for handball there from a Phoenix perspective. Asante, turn away from Harvey.
It's all very tight, isn't it? No space to breathe in that midfield. Both sides very good at their pressing and closing down. As I say this, he does get a whole bunch of space here, Cam Lindley, but it's been pretty rare. Look at that, they're pouncing on each other as soon as they get the ball.
Here's Asante. Blake just couldn't get it out from underneath his feet. Robledo. The way back for Rios Novo. Pretty similar start to what we saw in that first half as well.
It's almost like the two teams cancel each other out. They both press nice and tight. They both play a similar game of possession football and then keeping it tight in defense, getting bodies back.
Trejo trying his luck from distance. Harvey gets it back. Carlos Harvey makes the shot wide, but he's trying to make something happen and shoot from distance. That's something Juan Guerra's wanted his team to do against low blocks.
He did so under difficult circumstances, and then he slips, and then he gets the ball back here. He has to stretch, he comes inside, he gets the shot, but just drags it wide, doesn't catch it cleanly. But to be fair, he gone through so much to get there. I guess you can't expect him to stick it in the top corner, but he's a little bit frustrated. He did the hard work, just couldn't finish it off.
Brain trust there, Phoenix Rising. Ongera, Danny Stone. A player down. Looks for Indy 11 as well.
I think Abdu Indai is saying, all right, if you've got a problem, get off the pitch and get it sorted. You can't just stay here.
It's Cam Lindley, and remember, he was walking off some sort of injury going into halftime.
He's an important player for them. He's won more tackles for Indy 11 than any other player on the side. So Cam Lindley is one player they will not want to lose. The other one with an impressive record is Dispay. Most interceptions in the team, 36. He's the big man at the back. An vital player in terms of defense.
We just saw Derek Formella and Panos Armanakis preparing to come on. This is already before the hour mark, so Ongera's wasting no time in trying to inject some life into this attack. See who will be coming off the field as Lindley enters once again. Stenberg back for Rios Novo, a bouncing ball that Rios Novo plays well. Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. Here's Trejo.
One thing about Phoenix Rising, they do have great strength in depth. Besides Derek Formella, we saw on the side, and Armanakis. You've got Quayo, who came on last game, Quayo, and had an assist for one of the goals. Gallardo can come on and do his thing. It's lots of rich talent on that Phoenix Rising bench, and as you saw, it's probably Ongera's thinking, I need to freshen things up. I need to just try something different. This Indy side have been resilient. Let's pressurize them in a different way and see if we can get a breakthrough.
Long switch of play. Uzo. Ball lofted forward and all the way out of play, and that will signal a substitution. Two of them. It's Fede Varela coming off. So is Uzo, with Panos Armanakis and Derek Formella entering the game. Formella, part of the goal scoring the other day. Same thing with Armanakis. He also added an assist. So looking to inject some life into this attack with still over a half hour to go.
Entering the match is number 29,
I wonder if it changes the shape, whether they'll go to a 4-2-3-1 because of bringing on two strikers. Armanakis was in attack in the match against Detroit. If they do play him wide, maybe they'll push Arteaga up on his own, have Trejo to support as well, along with Derek Formella. Wait and see.
Harvey Into the corner, keeps this alive. It's Arteaga. He didn't get the contact he was hoping for, and then the flag is up for offside. Tightrope walk down that end line. When it comes to a sports injury, the unknown can be unsettling, but there's one thing that can calm that uncertainty: an answer. Mayo Clinic uncovers answers every day through exploration, teamwork, and innovation. Answers that can lead to more answers and to find a path forward. So if you're looking for answers related to a sports injury, you know where to go. Learn more at sportsmedicine.mayoclinic.org. Indy able to play through a bit of pressure there from Phoenix. Meet Jack Jerome. Rios Novo. And Harvey. Through the middle, it was just too far out in front. Well read by Rebellon.
Did well Rebellon because he had left Trejo free. If he hadn't won that ball, Trejo was in acres of space. It just seems that Phoenix Rising, by bringing on the extra attacker now, playing more of a 4-2-3-1 shape with 4 strikers effectively: Trejo, Arteaga, Formella, and Armenakis. Slightly more positive approach. Does it leave them vulnerable in defense is the only question.
Rios Novo has to get rid of this.
Substitution for Indy 11. Entering the match is number 2, Jesus Vasquez.
My sub here, it's Jesus Vasquez coming on for Brian Rebellon.
He got a goal in the last match, Jesus Vasquez, to make it 3-2 against New Mexico. And maybe Mark Lowry's hoping he can do something similar here today and hit the back of the net.
It's his first goal of the year.
He only came on with 20 minutes to go in that match, but he gets an extra 10 minutes this time around. Just an update from the San Diego match.
Please.
Monterey Bay were 2-1 up. And they've had a couple of late goals. San Diego, they're now leading by 3-2 in the 90th and 93rd minute. How about that for a comeback?
That sure changes things, as Fuenmayor is given a yellow card here. Thumbs up, he understands.
A caution is issued by the referee to Phoenix Rising FC number 30, Alejandro Fuenmayor.
So we look here again, any contact from behind can get you in trouble with the referee. Clearly Wangera not happy with that. Fuenmayor knows that. It's got to be, all defenders have to be so careful when you come up in the back of an attacker. Even if you get the ball, if you collide with the player, you're more than likely to give not just a free kick away, but even a yellow card.
Trying to turn the corners, Butati flicked along. Nobody there at the back post, but Formella. Zadi. Stenberg heads it clear. Armenakis. Arteaga was offside, and this will run out for a goal kick anyway.
Probably would have been offside, but nice thing about Armenakis, he's a very good player on the front foot. He can slide balls in, can the Australian. He's got a great football IQ, and now that he's on the pitch, you get the sense that there could be some more opportunities for Arteaga and Trejo.
Fans, be sure to visit your local Arizona Financial Credit Union branch to get your Phoenix Rising debit card. It's a great way to support the team and spread the word. Visit arizonafinancial.org. Harvey brought down, he was fouled. Going back to your score update from Monterey Bay, that would have put Monterey Bay and San Diego level on 43 points. Instead, now that has Monterey Bay still in the 8th spot on 40 points, and it now has Phoenix and San Diego level on 46 points should this end in a draw.
Wow, it's amazing how quickly things can turn around. If you're a Monterey Bay fan and you left that match in the 89th minute thinking that you'd climb well up the table into safety, you'd be more than disappointed right now.
I'm sure Phoenix, though, was probably rooting for Monterey Bay in that game just because San Diego was a game in hand. They played Las Vegas twice to end this season. Here's Manjoma to the end line. That go off of last. It was the Phoenix outside back.
Budadi doing really well there to make sure he didn't give away the penalty in the process. Got the tackle, played it on to Manjoma's foot, and that's how he wins. Have a look. Well, actually, on second thoughts, I'm not so sure he did get the ball. And if there was VAR, that might have gone for a much closer look. But again, impossible for the referee to see it from where he was.
Substitution is Douglas Martinez for Harrison Robledo. Second sub of the night.
Just by the way, your point about San Diego now is that if this result holds, they'll be level with Phoenix with a game in hand, which means the Rising could drop into 5th spot and out of a home playoff. That's how quickly things can turn around. Even though Phoenix have had a fantastic run of 4 wins and a draw, they could still drop to 5th, and that would be a blow for Wangera and the team.
In their final 4 games, Phoenix only play one team that is currently ahead of them in the standings, and that is home against Orange County, which should just be a thrilling match. Here's Stenberg. The best play on a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford, Arizona's largest Ford dealership. Here's Fuenmayor. Will we get a breakthrough here tonight? In the final quarter of this game. Right under the foot there of Harvey.
You certainly can't blame Wangera for trying to get the victory. He's made the changes. He's thrown on an extra striker, got 4 of them running forward.
Trejo couldn't turn the corner. Stood up there by Dizpay.
Credit to Indy 11. They're very well organized at the back. And now is this going to be a chance?
Manjoma. Cross fired in, just too tall. Hernandez keeps it alive. And here's Armanakis. He likes it on that left foot, and it's blocked down. Harvey, Manjoma. Phoenix on the prowl. Harvey cleared away. Manjoma. Armanakis looking to return it, and he's too close to Trilk.
It was a good try though from Armanakis, wasn't it? A beautiful ball over the top, and Trilk seems to have hurt himself sprinting out for that ball. He's grabbing his right calf. But that's the sort of ball that can break a back line just over the top with a runner going through. And it was so close with the goalkeeper reading it. Earlier, Manjoma with the ball in. Trejo inches away from making contact. Goalkeeper had sold himself already. If he makes the contact, that's a goal. That's the one over the top. A little bit too strong for Manjoma. The idea was good. And Trilk just suddenly pulls up with that calf problem. And if they have to change goalkeepers now, that could put Indy in a difficult position.
The goalkeeper on the bench tonight is Caden Crawford, the 16-year-old who would be making his pro debut. Not sure they really had that in the plans tonight. Of course, with Yannick Odell out injured, Tim Trilk stepping up. Would be the 16-year-old from Columbus, Ohio. Trilk looks like he's going to continue on. Thumbs up.
It would be a baptism of fire for Caden Crawford if he did come on. The last 20 minutes against Phoenix Rising on Phoenix's home ground with all that attacking talent coming at you. You probably prefer a rather more relaxed debut. Let's see how Trilk goes on with that right calf of his. It was a little bit better from Phoenix though, those last couple of minutes. Balls get whizzing into the box, testing the defense. I get the feeling that they are the more likely to get a breakthrough at the moment. They seem to be getting more of the ball now, and Indy 11 not quite as threatening in front of Rios Nova.
Trejo tracks the ball well with his chest. Armanakis for an oncoming Hernandez. Formella. Manjoma. I don't know where that one was heading.
No, don't think anybody else does as well. There's a pity because Mo Traore made a great run down the left from Manjoma, and he just decided to cut in instead and ignore his left centre back.
Score your new career at Gateway Community College. With Gateway, you can achieve your dream career in less time and for less money. Get started at gatewaycc.edu. Manjoma. Cross comes in, bounces right out.
The idea was good there, and he gets some applaud from Arteaga. Just Derek Formella hadn't quite read it at the far post. It was a ball right into the danger area, and again, Phoenix Rising asking more of the questions at this moment in time.
Trying to break the lines, Trejo. Trejo trying to keep his feet. It's Arteaga. He lifts it out of play. He finally had a good look at goal and could not test Trilk.
Trejo doing so well there to keep his balance and get that ball through. Just wonder if there's any other options, because there was Derek Vermeulen on the right-hand side, but Trejo here tripping, gets the ball through. Just to the right there, Trejo had stood up and he could have maybe played him in. But Arteaga was firmly focused on trying to get the shot. Derek Vermeulen was also running into space there. Guerra a bit frustrated. You have to give credit to Indy 11, though. They really have made it difficult for Phoenix Rising. They've been well organized. They've kept possession well. Just a little bit less of an attacking force right now, but they're probably happy with the away point and probably settled into trying to defend the last 15 minutes.
Traore just got eaten by the turf monster, but he's back on his feet. Armanakis, dipping efforts. Did Trilk get something on that? They're pointing for a corner kick, second of the game for Phoenix.
Definitely asking more questions now, the home side. Long way out for Armanakis, but Trilk couldn't take any risks. Just gets a fingertip to flick it round the post.
Nothing coming on the corner for Phoenix. He's taken away. Hernandez pulled back by Blake. That should be a yellow card, and it is.
Didn't have much choice there, Blake. There were so many red jerseys there. If he doesn't pull back here, they could have been caught on the counter-attack, so just accepts the yellow card, professional foul.
Number 8, Jack Blake.
It's Ben Riveno who will be coming on.
For Indy 11.
And Stefano Pino will be the one coming off.
3, Ben Riveno. Leading the match is number 29.
It's the third and final sub of the game for Indy 11. All three substitution windows have now been utilized by Mark Lowry.
He hasn't had a lot of game time, has Ben Riveno. Just the 1 minute against Miami back on September 2nd. So I think he'll be enjoying the fact that he can have a full 15 minutes or so tonight.
Traore. Hernandez floating this out wide. Armanakis. Cross over everybody's head.
It's getting so close. Trejo, Arteaga, all at the far post. They're applauding the idea, if not the execution. Are asking questions, Phoenix Rising. You just think one good ball, one well-timed shot, one something, and they're going to get this breakthrough.
Lofted forward. Martinez barely called his name since coming on. Cano, Blake, too far for Martinez. If you can't watch the match, turn on SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SXM app. Touched along, and here comes Phoenix. Advantage being played. Touched ahead for Arteaga. Shoulder to shoulder with Jerome. Arteaga cuts it back. That's the only place in the box there wasn't a Phoenix player.
Yeah, he's pulled it too far back. Eddie Manjoma was free in the middle of the box.
Armanakis lays it off for Harvey. It's Manjoma. One touch to settle. Harvey, it's Manuel Arteaga, and it's blocked. Ravenno coming from behind. Phoenix playing with their tails up now. Harvey knocks it out wide. It's Danny Trejo. Trejo's cross in front! Carlos Harvey! Phoenix is finally broken through!
Brilliant finish. The pressure was coming all the time. Look at that, the energy, the excitement from Phoenix Rising. They've been asking more questions in the last 10-15 minutes. They've been on the front foot. Danny Trejo, with his 6th assist of the season, builds it down the left-hand side. But Carlos Harvey, we spoke about his runs into the box. First half, we didn't see them. This is where he's powerful, he's strong. Danny Trejo with the tricks, puts it in there. And Harvey with that brave diving header at the near post, gets the breakthrough eventually. They've thrown more numbers forward, Phoenix Rising, and they've got their just rewards. The first goal of the game.
Carlos Harvey.
Carlos Harvey wheels away in celebration and scores his 5th goal of the year, his first since the 6-0 win over Memphis, and he's got all the moves as well. It has been over 2 months since he scored a goal. And we were talking about that earlier. He says he's been a little bit quiet as of late, but he has come to life at the right moment for Phoenix, and now Indy 11 have to chase this game.
I think you have to give credit to Wangera. He put on the extra attacker. He's pushed his midfield further forward. He's got his team on the front foot. And they've begun to dominate. As the second half has gone and they've dominated play, they really haven't given Indy much of a chance around their box. I think on the balance of play, you have to say it's probably fair that Phoenix Rising are in the lead.
In this half, Phoenix 8 shots, Indy 11 just 1. Indy 11 have really struggled to create much of anything. They've only had 42% of the ball in this second half. Very unlike them in many regards. But here's Lindley. Couldn't connect with Asante, and Phoenix off to the races. So Armanakis has been a danger man since coming on. Plays this out wide. Trill coming for it, and he clears it away. We were just having the conversation before the game. If you can't score from there, why would you come out and get the ball? But for there, he got there in time and put it out of play.
I always think it's risky for goalkeepers to come out to the corners of their box unless they're pretty sure they can get the ball, which Chulk did there. But you mentioned Armanakis. Since he's been on, they've been so much better in attack. I think he's such a quality player. Probably just being rested for today. It wasn't a case of him being dropped necessarily, but when he gets the ball and he looks in, his head comes up, that's when Trejo, Arteaga really start their runs, because they know there's a great chance they're going to get the ball back.
Hernandez. Phoenix able to keep it. Asante is down right next to Wangera. Sounds like there will be a sub coming, but first a stoppage as Asante is down.
This will be a sad way for Solomon Asante to leave the match if he can't get back up. I hope he can.
Indy doesn't have any more subs, so it's either he stays on or they go down to 10.
It's been a tough second half for the legend coming back to Phoenix. In the first half, he had a couple of little shots and threatened, but second half, we've seen nothing of Indy on the front foot.
Substitution coming, and it is the end of the night for Manuel Arteaga. Now he will hand the captain's armband off to Darnell King.
Makes sense. They had 4 attackers trying to get that goal. Now they've got it. They're taking one off and bringing on a defender to get more balance back. And of course, the experience of Darnell King, 32 years of age, he knows exactly what it takes to see out a match when you're 1-0 up.
He got injured in that 2-0 win over RGV. Came off in the 31st minute in the game on September 2nd. And he makes his return from injury here today. It was interesting talking with Juan Guerra after that RGV game. He says, I'm still going to travel Darnell King to Tulsa because of how important he is to us off the field, in the locker room. He was still on the field before that game against Tulsa, going through pregame warm-ups and also walking around. His trill comes off his line. That goes to show you how important he is, that he was never going to get in that game, but Juan Guerra said, yeah, you're still getting on the plane.
Those sort of players are important, especially now they're heading towards playoffs as well. You want the experienced campaigners. You want players who can calm things down when it's necessary. If we're having a little chat there with Douglas Martinez. Refereed it very well, Abdu Ndai. There hasn't been any real nastiness. Been a few yellows here and there, but game played in a reasonably good spirit. And that track record for Phoenix Rising against Eastern teams seems to be continuing. Really had a great return against teams from the East. 4 wins and a draw from 5, 19 goals for and only 4 against. Well, now it's 20 goals for and 4 against.
And their 36th goal at home, that leads the USL Championship in home goals.
There's potentially another clean sheet. It'll be the 4th in a row and the 6th in the last 10 matches since your favorite player John Stenberg came back.
Big Swede has really helped lock it down. He came on, I believe it was his debut against San Antonio when they were down to 10 men and they were just under a barrage of crosses, shots. He stood in there, he headed just about everything out until, of course, San Antonio was able to come away with a massive 3 points, getting a big goal at the end. How about this from Phoenix? They've scored 13 goals in the last 15 minutes of the second half. Only San Diego has scored more, and not sure if this stat is before tonight or after San Diego did what they did tonight, scoring 2 90th minute goals in the 3-2 win over Monterey Bay. Here's Blake. Ravenno. Jack Blake. Phoenix in live standings would jump Orange County into 3rd place. And those 2 teams, of course, play each other next week here. That's a foul. Free kick coming and a great spot for Indy 11.
Given San Diego's win tonight, getting a win for Phoenix Rising became even more important. So they're going to want to hold on to these 3 points, which means organizing the defense there. Rios Nova, no doubt in the background, will be moving players around, making sure everybody's picked up and nice and tight. In fact, you can see Fuenmayor with his finger also pointing to some of his co-defenders.
Cam Lindley will stand over this great server of the ball. Mark Lowry and Indy could really use a good delivery here. Lindley puts it in the mixer, and guess who? John Stenberg. Traore puts a stop to this. Phoenix looking for a way out. Trejo. Eddie Manjoma. Here's Hernandez to switch the point of attack. Darnell King.
Yeah, no need to try and take risks. Just keep possession of the ball, keep knocking it around. Make Indy chase and work the clock down. It's a fantastic run that Phoenix are on now. This, if they keep this result, 5 wins and a draw in their last 6, 4th clean sheet. You really get the sense that they're peaking at the right time going into the playoffs.
How about this? They'd be even on games played and only 3 points behind San Antonio. Rolled in behind for Mella. Couldn't get there. Flag up for offside.
Again, it's...
Join Arizona's only professional soccer club as it goes head-to-head with Orange County at the team's new home. Visit phxrisingfc.com or call 623-594-9606 for ticket information.
5 minutes of added time.
You know what's important is they have the strength and depth as well, Phoenix Rising. The players that come off the bench can make a big difference. They started making changes against Detroit at 2-0, ended up winning 5-0. And Wangero's saying you've got to be happy when you bring on your subs and they have that sort of impact. Again, the quality of subs like Derek Formella, Amanakis today, although he'd normally be a starter, Darnell King, which really gives Phoenix Rising fans hope that this team not only can finish very high in the West, but can go on to do something very special this year, perhaps all the way to the championship final.
Of course, that is something that has eluded them, that trophy at the end. And plenty of other hardware. Still looking for the big one. Hernandez and Asante.
Hernandez is very silly to raise his hands there. Yeah, he's going to get a yellow card for that. You can't do that. You've got the foul. Don't get involved any further.
A silly yellow card there, picked up by Hernandez. Here it is again.
I mean, he gets fouled, no question. Asante gives him a shove in the back. But that's the shove you don't need to give. That's the one that gets the yellow card.
Well, Indy 11, remember they had that 6-game unbeaten run, 5 wins and a draw during that stretch that was brought to an end by New Mexico last time out. That was their longest unbeaten run since June of 2019. And now they're looking at 2 straight losses. Southwest has not been kind to them over the last few days.
To be fair to them, they put up a really good battle until I felt about the 60th minute, and then they really were just defending. They didn't offer much in attack. In both games, assuming this result holds, both games only be a loss by 1 goal, so they haven't been hammered by any sense.
It's floated in. Bounce out of play, but the flag up for offside anyway.
And they might also feel that once Aidan Quinn's fit, they'll be a stronger side. So they'll take some positives from this match, you would think, Indy 11.
Is number 67, Carlos.
It's Daniel Crutzen coming on. Carlos Harvey is the one coming off. The man who has the goal tonight. That is the difference in this game. Harvey off to go the long way around, and here is the difference in the game.
It's a good goal. It's a brave diving header with boots flying around you and a goalkeeper coming out. Beautiful ball in from Trejo, but that's Carlos Harvey's strength for me, is coming into the box and adding that extra player, because he's got the physical attributes, the strength, and clearly the bravery as well.
Juan Guerra's docking to Rocco Rios Nova, just saying, send it as far away as you can. Said he sent it out of play. Now Martinez. Is there a late goal in this for Indy? Well, they'll have a corner kick.
This has been one of their few attacking moves in the entire second half for Indy. You never know, put a ball into the danger area. They've got enough big defenders, Adrian Despay in particular, who can cause problems for the Phoenix defense.
Lindley, driven ball in, the header's down and in! Adrian Despay, the late equalizer for Indy 11. They steal a result in Phoenix.
That's a great header. It's a lovely ball in the corner. It's got power. It's pinged in. You can see Carlos Harvey there, the goal scorer of the Phoenix goal, just shaking his head. He thought he had the winner. Not to be. Look at this corner. Fantastic, but gets up so well, Adrian Despay. Whoever was marking him, let him go. And it looks like, of all people, as Daniel Crutzen, who was brought on specifically, you would think, to lock things up. Doesn't stay tight enough. Despay gets away from him and thunders that ball into the back of the net. Gives Rios Novo no chance whatsoever.
You see all the reactions there. Lowry in the background, Harvey in the foreground. His second goal of the year, and it's a massive one for Indy 11. It also ends Phoenix's shutout streak at well over 366 minutes is what it'll end at. Longest of the season. Now Stenberg keeps this in play. Bit of composure, he goes for it, and it's blocked out of play. Appeals for handball, but it's a corner kick, and Stenberg can't believe it.
He must be very convinced it was a handball, because he looks extremely upset. Let's have a look. Does hit the hand. Now, how close is the hand to the body? Difficult to say. It was worth a shout.
Corner's whipped in, and oh, it's wide. Trejo thought he had it, and that is all. A frantic finish. A late goal from Indy salvages a point on the road, and the points are shared. Here it is again.
Oh, Trejo at the near post gets a flick on it. That's just inches wide from going into the far post. Have a look at it from there. In fact, he heads it on to the defender, takes a little deflection. And of course, there was that penalty appeal a minute before that. So dramatic ending to the match, just as we're talking about 3 points of Phoenix Rising and a clean sheet. Adrian Despay changes everything, and well done, Indy 11. They battled their way to a very good draw under some tough circumstances.
Juan Guerra does not seem pleased after this one. That's a tough handball decision there for the referee to give, and Juan Guerra is going to have his say there. But for the defender, I don't know what else you want him to do. His hand is about as at his side as you're ever going to ask for. It would have been really harsh from an Indy perspective.
And also, there's no VARs. It's impossible to slow it down and be absolutely sure. But I'm sure Juan Guerra is frustrated, because he must have thought, with a minute left to play, that they had the points in the bag.
That's a tough one to take for Phoenix Rising, but let's take A look at our save of the game. It is presented by Truly Nolan. Not a whole lot there in this for Rocco Rios Nova, but he got his body behind this one.
It was a quiet match for the Phoenix number one. Nothing you could do about the goal that went in. What he had to do, he did well.
Well, it was about 30 minutes, 32 minutes between shots, and then the shot that ended up tying the game for Indy 11 coming in the 95th minute. Well, we will come back and wrap things up, but it's full time here from Phoenix. A hard-fought match between East versus West, but in the end, the points are shared. It's one apiece. At full time, we'll come back and wrap things up from Phoenix.
Sanderson Ford gives back. They support local sports.
They support local businesses, restaurants, and music.
Y organizaciones en nuestra comunidad latina.
My favorite event is Operation Santa Claus. And mine is the Cave Creek Rodeo.
I love participating in the Guardian Games with my son Evan for Special Olympics Arizona.
Your business has allowed Sanderson Charities to give back to all these local charities. We've been paying it forward for 68 years. Thank you.
Hey, Rising fans, spring is in the air and Circle K has what you thirst for. Stay cool with our famous Polar Pop Cups that stay cold longer. Fill your cup with your favorite flavor or mix it up to create your own. Or try our freshly ground iced coffee starting at just $1.89. While you're here, mix and match any two roller grill items, just two for $4. Check out these hot deals and cool down at Circle K, America's thirst stop and proud sponsor of Phoenix Rising.
Why is Aaron happy? Well, just days ago, his old wheels gave out. But he knew Carvana had his back. That's because Carvana had thousands of cars under $20,000. And with the new co-signer option, Aaron's folks were able to help him out with a new ride.
No way.
Yes way. With thousands of cars under $20,000 and our co-signer option, we'll drive you happy at Carvana.
Probably a draw that feels more like a loss for Phoenix Rising tonight. They had the goal they thought was going to be a winner, but in the end, it is Indy 11 to steal the results here in Phoenix. Let's look back at the full-time highlights tonight. Phoenix Rising, Indy 11, the first time these two teams ever facing off. 22nd minute, Phoenix nearly finding the opener.
Yeah, Arteaga has a little swipe at the ball. It looks like it's going high and wide, but in the end it comes very close to dropping into the goal. Tim Chilk here just running all the way to his post just to make sure it doesn't sneak in.
36th minute, there would be an opportunity for Guenzati as he rattles the woodwork.
It's a great strike here from a very tight angle and really hits the crossbar. And what's more than that, Rios Nova, as you'll see from here, doesn't even move. He just looks up and thinks, wow, thank heavens that wasn't any lower. And then eventually a breakthrough. Trejo on the outside. Carlos Harvey, brave dive towards the near post. He risked getting a kick in the face to make sure he gets his head on that. And you thought that might have been the winner.
But it wasn't. Lindley to Dizpay, 1-1.
Who's marking? We think it's Daniel Crutzen who's let him go. It's one thing he gets a header, but he gets a free header on the ball, and that's what gives Rios Nova absolutely no chance. Then a flick on it, the near post. Trejo goes inches wide from Trejo there. It's so close to just dropping in that far corner.
As we look at what is to come, Phoenix next up at El Paso, and as Juan Guerra said, it's one game at a time this time of year.
Yeah, every game's going to be tough. El Paso fighting for their lives just to make the top 8. Orange County want to make top 4 and a home ground advantage. New Mexico also outside the playoffs. So every game is going to be a massive one from now till the end of the season.
And for Indy 11, of course, very important games for them as they're battling for seeding, but their next two will be at home.
Yeah, RGV, they're also fighting for their lives, as are Detroit City. Normally, for the middle of the season, you might say those are reasonably comfortable. Right now, when the teams are fighting for their lives, those two will be tough matches.
So that is it for our coverage this evening from Phoenix. A back and forth game, It was a stalemate for a while. Phoenix thought they had a winner until Indy stole a result in the end. For our entire crew and broadcast partner Gary Bailey, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long from Phoenix. Our score at full time, Phoenix 1, Indy 1. Good night from Phoenix. We'll talk to you on Saturday from El Paso.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.